Music for global change. Creating music that inspires the world. Welcome to the Music for Global Change broadcast. And now here's your hosts, founder and music ambassador Skyler Jett with Deborah, Fennella and Tom Bryant.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to start a revolution? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to start a revolution?
Namaste. Welcome to the Music for Global Change broadcast. Hello, I'm Deborah Fennella, here with the music ambassador and founder of Music for Global Change, Skyler Jett, and presenter
Tom Bryant. Hello.
Hello. Now, we're really excited and blessed and honoured to have our conscious music producer today, all the way across to Colorado, Scott Johnson. And Scott is also the founder and the director of World Singing Day.
I wrote a social conscious song, and the next thing you know, a friend of mine says, you need to join the Positive Music Association, right?
Cool.
And I did. And I'm like, wow, look at all these people here.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank you for that, right?
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's that's how people kind of felt. It's like, oh, I'm not the only one doing this.
Right.
It's kind of nice to know that there's kind of a tribe out there of other musicians that are
Of us.
They're doing music that's where the lyrics are really the distinctive part of what makes this kind of genre. We were trying to create our own genre of music,
Yes.
positive music or pause music or something. It's hard to do that when I think the only other kind of genre is more probably gospel or Christian or something or religious it's determined by the lyric. So, and it's such a very broad thing because they're all different genres in positive music. So there's pop and there's rock and there's country and there's reggae and all that stuff. So, but it's nice to know that we're not the only crazy ones out there trying to.
We're not crazy, man. We're not crazy. We might be old, but we're not crazy.
I feel about 23 inside.
That's a beautiful thing. That's how about that, you know? But the cool thing is, man, I loved your concept because here I place my name with a lot of social conscious writers. Like you said, I thought it was just me, right?
Right.
But when I looked the whole thing up, you're right. That's what Music for Global Change is about. We're making a platform and a genre that should have been there years ago, right?
Right.
People have been writing these kind of songs forever, right? Whatever. They don't have to be a protest song just to be social conscious, right?
Right.
But the cool thing is like what we create here. I want to build festivals with some of the best talent that have amazing songs, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, and I've said it many times before. It doesn't matter what the instrument is, right? Around it. It's about the lyrical content that heals, educates, and solves problems, right?
Right.
Has nothing to do with our personal feelings, right? It's about how we share, or like I challenge young people is, well, if there was something you could change in the world, what would that be? Mm-hmm. And then they go, I would do this. Okay, there's your song right there. Go write it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, there's certainly plenty of positive musicians out there. I mean, Michael Franti to me is a great example of someone who can connect with so many people.
He's mastered it.
He's a wonderful. I've seen it. Probably my best concert I went to a few years ago was at Red Rocks here near Denver. And, he's out in the crowd half the time, barefoot with his guitar. He's bringing people of all ages up on stage to sing and dance with him. I mean, he's an amazing
performer as well, right?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
But what was brilliant about what he did was he went and got in with the yoga crowd.
Right. Yeah.
The hippies, great grandkids and stuff like that. Right. And it's so wonderful because he bought a couple of yoga studios. Right. He's way into it and stuff like that. But just that they want to just hear positive, happy. He does positive, happy music.
Yeah. And I think it's deeper than that too. It's really connecting people and on a deeper level. And like sometimes happy sounds kind of artificial, but it's well-being and a sense of
feel good.
It's feel good, and
also about togetherness, bringing the people together through peace and love, and through the sound of music, because music can heal each person in need of healing, but also heal humanity, heal the world.
That's why if we have festivals,
yes.
If we start having festivals with like quality, amazing talent, but with social conscious lyrical content, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And just make shows out of that, because people are tired of bad news. People want to hear good news, but there's no platforms for good news.
Right, and also it's about replacing the negativity with more peace and more love, and again dissipating that illusion of fear, because there's still so much fear sweeping across the planet, and we want to hear more peace and love, more positivity in lyrical content. And that's where, again, the festivals that Skyler and all of us, we're going to be supporting Skyler with it, but we are working towards, to change this world, to bring the peace and the love and togetherness and the people back together. This is what it's all about. When you go back to like Band-Aid and all of the people that were coming together, there was no anger, there was no negativity. It was just all about peace and love and sending money out to Africa and all of the third world countries. And it brought the people together. And that's where Music for Global Change, that's what we're aiming to do next year. And also what you do as well, Scott. And we're truly grateful to have you on the show, and you do amazing work. And I'm so proud of you and so proud of Skyler. And we feel really blessed to interview you today, don't we, Skyler?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For me, I'm like, Scott's been a hero of mine, just to give people, just to give people a chance to go out and, have a platform.
Yes.
We just need viral platforms just to go.
Right.
What we got to do is open up all the people that want to do this kind of music. We got to give them a place to go, for people to go buy that kind of music. It's a market at it, but we have to create the market because it's never been there. Only thing is, the most historical songs have been social conscious songs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, for World Singing Day, we have a lot of fun stuff that just gets people moving and up. I mean, we were dancing to Cupid Shuffle, and we were dancing to some old 50s, 60s stuff. But we were singing some current stuff as well as some classics like, Let It Be and Imagine and stuff like that. But it's so beautiful to see people of all different ages, like grandkids and grandparents and teenagers and stuff, just coming together and singing these great songs. And a lot of them have
love as well, Scott. You're bringing love to the world through the sound of music and bringing everyone together as well. I mean, with regards to the actual World Singing Day, does it literally go on all day, or is it like a couple of hours that you do it for? Like for this year, for instance, that we had 50 registered events in 15 countries. A few new ones. We had one in China for the first time, and one in Latvia, and a couple in France.
I hope you got this on tape. I mean,
I certainly encourage the local hosts. So in these places, there are local hosts that organize their own sing-along. So again, they can choose their songs that they're going to sing, find a venue, invite the public. It can be a small little gathering in a cafe or a big thing like we do here in Boulder. I know that Perth, Australia, wasn't this year. They were, but a couple of years ago, they had over, 1,200 people at an outdoor this Yagan Square, just beautiful experience. And so it just varies from place to place how it kind of looks. And eventually I would love to have everyone singing the same song at the same time.
That's what I'm
I was going to ask you that. Did you have a live satellite link? That'd be fantastic all over the world where you're all interconnecting and live streaming like on YouTube and all social media. I mean, that's something maybe you could work towards for next year. And how wonderful would that be? Seeing all these different countries uniting together and singing, spreading love and peace.
I just happened to have the right song.
Oh, do you? Your song? Yes.
There you go.
The next year, that could be your because this year you had Here Comes the Sun, which is a beautiful song. And next year, Skyler's got a fantastic song.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world.
You have to send it across to Scott.
Right?
Right.
You'll love it, Scott. It's a fantastic song that Skyler wrote and recorded. It's beautiful.
Great. I was just listening to Skyler and Friction singing. Was it One World or
One World, man?
That was a nice video. Yeah.
It's so wonderful. I went there for a session with somebody, and it was crazy. So I get off the plane, and we're driving about an hour into Holland. And when we get to the studio, there's all these cameras coming towards the car, and I'm going, what's going on here? And the lady goes, well, I thought it'd be good if we had some cameras show up. Well, I'm like, when were you going to tell me? I've been in the car with you for an hour. You didn't tell me I was going to get rushed like that, right? Anyway, man, I meet Friction. And this brother's from Ghana. And he's a big star in Ghana, right? And man, we just kicked it right off, man. We went to a couple bars together and sang it up and down the street. And then we come up with One World. And the next thing you know, I went back to my home in Scotland, and it came back 2 weeks later. I had it all in my head. But the crazy thing, you mentioned Perth, is because the bass player that's playing on that song, he's from Perth.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
On One World. And it's so good. This brother's from Ghana. He's from Perth. I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area too, right?
Yeah. That's a cool thing about World Singing Days, because I'm on the phone, I'm on Skype, I'm texting WhatsApp and stuff to people in China and in England and in South Africa and all these places. And it's really a cool thing to be able to connect people, connect like that with people.
How does somebody register for? Is there like a main website where you go to register for an event if you want to put?
It happens to be worldsingingday.org. I know it's a very So imagine that. So there's we have you can sign up and register there, and we have resources and a host toolkit and things like that.
Wow.
We send out and. And then we certainly ask our hosts to make sure that somebody does take some photos and video clips to share. With us.
Do you remember that guy Pharrell? He had that tune called Happy. Maybe that tune.
Pharrell, yeah. He did this global happy videos that came in from all over the world. Yeah.
So he went on the Oprah Winfrey show, right? And Oprah goes, I got to show you something. And she had all these people around the world with their own personal phones dancing to Happy.
I've seen
all over the world, right?
Yeah.
And it just got him. He's watching the whole world like you doing, in different countries.
Right.
Sing your song, man. That you're right. That would be the ultimate right there,
Right.
And,
it was a few years ago, the song of the year, I took Beethoven's Ode to Joy, and then I which is probably one of the most well-known melodies in the world. And I took phrases from popular songs, and I made a coherent lyric out of that, and I changed the song is called Ode to Song, and we had thousands of people singing that around the world, which is really cool.
Fantastic.
there's I don't know if you heard of the Sweet Adelines. It's a women's a cappella, barber shop a cappella. It's an international association of women, but they had their international convention and actually happened to culminate on World Singing Day that year, and they ended up singing that song at their last event of the big international conference, which was really fun. They've changed the program and everything, and they all, thousands of people sang it. So that was cool to hear that.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, Tom knows a little bit about barbershop.
Just a bit. I've been a barbershop for 30 odd years, Scott. So.
Okay, great. Yeah.
In the Male Association here in the British Association, but yeah, I got. Okay. Yeah, because the Barbershop Harmony Society here out of the States is, they're a partner of ours. And so, yeah. Yeah. Fabulous.
All that stuff is great.
And maybe actually Tom and his group will be entering next year.
We could enter, yeah.
I think that'd be fantastic, don't you? What do you reckon?
Yeah. That'd be great.
We've got a chorus of about 25 to 30 guys. So, so we've dwindled a bit since the hiatus that was COVID, but we're gonna build up again. So we've just got back to it. We've just been a couple of weeks now. So
good.
Fantastic. Now we do actually have waiting patiently Enne in the waiting room, bless her. So I'll just introduce Enne to come into the show as well, bless her.
There we are.
Now, we're really excited and blessed to invite onto the show conscious music producer, singer-songwriter, and multi-award winning Enne. How are you today? You okay?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you. I've been chatting to you on email, haven't I, past couple of days? And congratulations on the birth of your beautiful baby as well.
Thank you.
You're very busy, bless you. And now you're also multi-talented, and you've sung with many celebrities, including Earth, Wind and Fire, and you write many lyrical contents which are conscious, music as well. So please tell our listeners and viewers a little bit more about yourself, please.
Okay, well, I'm a multidisciplinary artist, so I paint, I do photography as well, film photography.
Oh, do
so
you?
that's like old school, using like old cameras and stuff. And I've just recently got into fashion too. So I'm making jackets, I'm doing design and doing my own designs as well. And so I've set up a business doing that recently.
Wow, you're multi-talented, you're very busy, and also a fantastic mum too. How do you manage to juggle everything during your busy days?
Yesterday was a very, very difficult day. When I'm dealing with my newborn, during the days, I have her dad helps to support, but sometimes she's just really well behaved. Sometimes.
That's for now, but wonderful.
Yeah.
Terrible 2 is coming.
Hey.
One step at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now.
Don't they? And they do grow up so quickly. Because you've also got a teenager as well, haven't you? So you're very busy at home as well. So also I'd like to ask you, what does conscious music mean to you, and also what guided you down that path of actually writing conscious music songs, please?
Well, growing up listening to the radio, I was really fed up. As a child, I knew that what they were saying wasn't feeding my spirit, and growing up and having the type of, I grew up in a single parent family, and my mother was a very strong woman and gave us a lot of wisdom. And so I didn't tend to take to what was in the charts and the sort of messages that was there for young girls. It wasn't for me. And I was brought up in the Spice Girls generation. So they kind of got big when I was young, and that's like who all the other girls were kind of looking up to. And I didn't really quite understand that either, because it was like girl power, but their outfits and kind of the message they were giving off, I didn't resonate with that as girl power, if you understand. For me, it was seeing a strong woman in wisdom. And so a lot of music didn't speak to me until Lauryn Hill. Okay, so it was like when I first heard Lauryn Hill, that changed my life. It changed everything, because I was like, wow, why is she saying the things that I feel, but I don't know how to say, and she's expressing things in a way that I want to express things. I was like, nah, this is different. She changed the game for me. And also growing up listening to a lot of reggae, and that's very conscious. So conscious music to me is speaking on current times, using your voice to speak and stand in the gap for those who don't have a voice, and being an authentic voice and having a heart of righteousness and integrity. That to me is what conscious music needs to be about, and speaking up for injustices and standing in that gap there for the people that don't have it. And if you've got a platform as an artist and you can actually express the truth of what's going on, I'm there for that.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I mean, the most beautiful thing is your voice, though.
Well, thank you.
You have the most incredible voice, and for you to be able to speak your truth using that voice, that's epic, right? And I love the way you go and open for people by yourself with just you and your ukulele.
Yeah.
Right? That's an artist to me, right? You're an artist. And you know what I mean? Yeah, people dream of being an artist, right? And the beautiful thing about it, you can perform too, and you can produce. And thank you for that.
Thank you so much. And I also I'd like to introduce the founder of World Music Day, Scott Johnson. Scott, meet Enne, because Scott's literally just done the World Singing Day on Saturday just gone, and he's the founder of World Singing Day, does amazing work. And he also writes conscious music as well, don't you, Scott?
Yeah. I've been writing since high school. So yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Music is my therapy. I'll just sit down at the piano and get all my emotions out.
That's right.
That way.
Yep.
And the stronger the emotion, happy or sad, the better the song, I think. And
that's right.
Preach it, Scott. Preach it.
Yeah. So, and where are you living?
I'm in London.
You're in London. Nice. Yeah. My wife and I arrived in Heathrow last year on March 8th.
Oh, wow.
Right before things shut down.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But we had a great time for a week walking around with a million people in London. We even went to a show. We saw Dear Evan Hansen right next to everybody. And then we were going to go see my wife's family in Belgium, but we had to go straight back.
Right.
It's a shame.
We had a wonderful time in London, and we'd love to come back.
London is an amazing place. It's a place where everything happens, isn't it? It's wonderful.
All the cultures.
It is.
All the cultures. You know, UK is amazing to me because now I've lived in Scotland and England. And before that, I was in Napa Valley. Scotland knows Napa Valley. I lived in the wine country before I moved here, right? Mm-hmm. So I went from totally being in the country to like, boom, on blast, everything on blast, right? But we went to Edinburgh first. And you know, I'm from California. I don't know nothing about that kind of cold. It was cold. I'm like, wait, hold on, wait, what? What else you guys got to do here? But
it's very cold.
But no, it's been beautiful because, like I said, you can from Gatwick Airport, you can fly to Paris in 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. You can be in Amsterdam in 45 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's now from the Bay Area where I live at just to Los Angeles is an hour. So I would be in another country by that time. It's crazy. And totally different languages and everything else. But I know one thing, no matter where I go, I can find musicians. And if I find musicians, I can find somebody that speaks English, right?
Yes.
And it's been, you know, I go to places and I can't speak their language. And I know what immigrants feel like when you're in somebody else's country. When they come, I respect people when they come to our country, you know what I mean? And you can't speak the language. I know what that feels like, just the opposite. But the cool thing is I can always find musicians. And if I find musicians, there's the party.
We're definitely going to have a massive party next year with the very first Music for Global Change Festival, aren't we, Skyler?
Well, we should. Nice. We're trying to put that in place. Really,
we're going to make it happen. aren't we?
Yeah, it might not be that place where we want it, but
Yeah.
but the main thing is to start these concerts all around the world. Because Music for Global Change is a thing where we collaborate with musicians from all over the world. I'm trying to create a directory so we can write with each other and collaborate right on Skype. Skype is free, right? I've written over 30 songs that way with somebody else, just like this, right? And we didn't have that before. If you wasn't in a room with you, we couldn't do that, right?
We're really fortunate, aren't we? Like you say, you know, with digital and with the media, and also again with all of the different like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we can really connect all over the world, can't we? Which is fantastic.
We couldn't do that before, and
we couldn't. No,
that's what I'm saying about musicians. Like,
yes.
You know, another thing we didn't have back then. It's like you're in front of an audience in front of you, right? Yes. And you can tell if they're gigging to that song.
You certainly can.
People start moving around and getting up out of their seat. Oh, you can tell right when that starts happening, right?
And it's to see people live on camera like today, all of us, and we're all different parts of the world, yet we're on camera and you can see us. And I think that's fantastic as well, isn't it?
I love it, but I'm talking about performing live, right?
Yes.
So you got people in front of you, and when they all get up and they gig into it, right? Everybody has a phone now.
They certainly do.
And you go, hey, did you like that? Text me right here. You can get it right now. And they never moved from where they were standing.
No.
We all used to have to go get something. Remember?
We did, yes.
You don't have to go nowhere right now.
Phone Skyler as well, going back to that time when we didn't even have them, did we? So with technology today, we're really fortunate.
But you might make another $700 from somebody out there, from a lot of people out there buying that song that they just heard, because it's all about instant gratification, right?
Yes. It's exciting. We can't wait. Now, one thing I would love to ask both of you, actually, Enne and Scott, what was the very first social conscious song that you wrote, please? Enne, first of all, thanks.
I don't know if this is the first one, because I've been writing since I was a child. But one of the ones that was the first one that I performed was because, okay, so my hometown is Luton. It's a small town. And you may have heard of it because it's got
got friends in Luton.
An airport. It's got an airport. So most people know ways to get out of Luton.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So it's got an airport. So our hometown is a working class town. And so we're very vocal about injustice there. At least my generation were. It's a little bit different now. But we were very vocal, and we didn't take things lying down, and we weren't afraid to speak truth. They were afraid of us, though. And so there was a festival that they had, and there's a lot of money put into it. And they booked acts that nobody in the town were, they were hoping to book acts that would bring in people from outside. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Luton has a bit of a reputation where, like I said, people just want to get out of it. So they would come to Luton for the airport. Who wants to come? Who wants to come? So unfortunately, they booked acts thinking this will attract surrounding people who are big fans of these two acts. And the two acts they booked was The Wanted and Ollie Murs. And if you don't know who they are, Scott, you're doing good. You're doing great. So, so they booked these acts. Now, in my hometown, music is our thing. And we did not see these artists as people that we wanted to see. We like reggae. We like conscious music in my hometown. So inviting pop acts to play was a mistake. And to think that the surrounding areas would come to see them, people would rather spend money to go into London to see them than to come to our hometown to see them. So basically, they took a lot of taxpayers' money to put on a concert for people that nobody wanted it. And so again, one of the bands was called The Wanted, and the other one was Ollie Murs. And they didn't book any of the local artists for the main stage. That was the other thing they did. They burned us with that. See, I'm getting passionate again.
That's right.
I'm living it all over again.
Yeah, go back and hit them again.
Yeah, it's really unfair, Enne, actually. They should have invited local artists.
They do that to me and us. So we are being the way that we were. We set up a protest field. Yes, we set up a protest field with our own stage, our own sound system, our own food, our own everything.
Fantastic.
Right near everybody that was going to that concert would have to have passed our protest, right? So we had our protest stage, and I wrote a protest song, and it, how can a town that can feed the hungry, that can house the homeless, that can clothe the naked, that can educate the youth, that can look up to the elderly, justify their actions to you or to me? Well, they can't. And so yeah, that's the chorus, and I had everyone.
You heard it?
Yeah, fantastic voice.
You heard it first on the Music for Global Change broadcast.
So did you find then that everyone came to watch your concert and not so many went to the other one?
Yeah, they didn't sell the tickets. I think more people came to see Levi Roots. I think more people went to go and see Levi Roots. They went to go see Levi Roots and buy some of his reggae sauce more than going to that concert. And we did have a good crowd and some really good performers at our protest festival. It was a nice day out, but they did not pull in the crowd that they were expecting. And I was like, and the taxpayers are going to have to cover that.
Yes.
That's it. And further you are oppressing the poor even more. And so that's why, like I said, we have to stand in that gap and be that voice for those people.
And you do an amazing job doing it. And congratulations.
That's exactly right.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Well, we got to get more writers. Like
we have.
There's millions and millions and millions of love songs. Challenge yourself and write a song. It doesn't have to be a protest song, but something of social conscious that can heal and educate us all. Right.
But also about bringing positive change, like you say, Skyler, isn't it? Because that's what it's all about. How can we change this world to make this world a better place?
Oh, well, it's the number one language in the world.
Yes.
Well, there's a key point as well in this. There is a key point. Well, there's a key thing that I've noticed, a very, very key thing that I've noticed, and that is that things that have been going on, injustices that have been taking place recently, with how our governments have been dealing with this pandemic and some of these other things that's going on. If you dare pick up your guitar and speak out against the way the government's handled it, or you dare make a judgment saying, we want to question things a little bit more, you are being silenced, you are being cancelled, so there's a thing at the moment where there isn't that freedom to actually change things in this way, like we had. Like I said, I could set up a protest stage and they'd say this is wrong, but now if I did that, they'd be like, oh, what's she going on about? She needs to be quiet because she's scaring people. She's telling them the truth and she's scaring people. And we have this problem with this generation now where we're not hearing protest songs like that anymore. We're not hearing songs like, that's why this is so needed, like what you're saying, Skyler, the songwriters. It's because the songwriters are now being forced, if they want a career, to write a certain way and to write about crap that is not really feeding anybody's souls, is not really giving that voice to society that is needed. And we have this culture now where if you try to make a song that speaks out about these things and is questioning the authority of our governments, it's like, no, you're not allowed to do it. Put your mask on, shush, sit down, and don't say anything. It's like, whoa.
No human beings can stop music.
No, they can't. No.
Okay.
And people are waking up consciously, I think, across the world now, and they're asking more questions.
This isn't the first time.
As are now being removed, so to speak. People are waking up, aren't they, consciously?
In my lifetime, this isn't the first time that this has happened.
Yeah.
When I was a youth, I watched the Vietnam War, right? And I remember the protest songs that stopped that war, right? They had, Woodstock. They had some of the most phenomenal talent icons ever. And maybe they came up to do their songs, but they would always do a song to protest that war. And it was the young people that stopped that war. Right? They got in the streets, got in front of tanks, even everything. Right? I saw it. There was tanks coming down my street. Right? So this is on your own people. The people that you swore to go protect.
Right.
This crazy,
exactly,
crazy world. But at the same time, I watched the What's Going On album that's 50 years old this year. And that's just brilliant how it happened for Marvin when Berry Gordy goes, okay, what kind of album? Marvin's doing all these love albums, right? And the girls going nuts and all that. It's all beautiful. And then that war started and he goes, I got to say something about this war. I got to tell people what's going on. That's the title of the album. What's going on? Where if you go listen to that man's a prophet. If you go listen, you go listen to that album right now. He's talking about right now.
Yes.
Back then.
Yes.
Fish full of mercury. What is that? That's the environment.
It is.
Yeah. He was talking about it back then, right?
Yeah.
He saw it, right? And then okay. Then my other hero is John Lennon.
Yes, amazing.
He's out there doing he's doing all them love songs with the Beatles and the girls going nuts and all that, right? And then he said, I got to say something about this world. Why don't we imagine peace?
Yes.
And that's where Imagine came from.
And it's gone down in history even today, that song, and also Marvin Gaye. And that there's so many prophets throughout the years. And their songs that, are still living on even now. And it's just wonderful. And to encourage people now to continue writing these conscious music songs, I think is so, so important.
But we need games, though. We need a lot of, we need so many writers to start writing.
We do. That's what we're doing our writing contest, aren't we? Songwriting contest.
Yes.
To encourage more conscious music songwriters to write songs for Music for Global Change. So we are actually running a competition at the moment. So if you know of any budding songwriters that would like to get involved in our songwriting competition, please let us know, and they can actually email them across to us, which is MF for actually, Tom, was it MFGC and then B, is that correct?
MFGCB songs at
sorry, Tom actually set it up. Actually, I'll let Tom say it. Go on then, Tom.
MFGCB songs at gmail.com.
So basically MFGCB is Music for Global Change broadcast songs at gmail.com. It would have been easier to do that, but we had to abbreviate it. So that's actually the email for anyone can actually, I know it would have been really, really long. So we've abbreviated, which is MFGCB songs at gmail.com. So if you know of anyone, please get them busy songwriting. So we'd love to hear from them. And the actual winner would get to actually perform live on our show as well, won't this, Skyler?
Yeah, we will. And I'm so, I want to get to this because Scott, we need to team up.
We do. And we also need to hear what your first social conscious song was that you wrote as well, please, Scott.
Yeah, well, before I forget, there's an organization called Music to Life, and it was founded by, I don't know if you remember Peter, Paul, and Mary from the 60s.
Oh, wow.
But Paul Stuckey and his daughter Liz founded this Music to Life, and it's really, it supports young artists to participate in social change and use their music for social change. And they support and fund and educate and mentor musicians that are doing their music for social change. So you need to check that out.
Yes, we will.
But anyway, so my focus, as Skyler, as I told you, I was born and raised in the Bay Area. I was born in a Berkeley hospital.
Oh my God.
And one of the most progressive places in the world.
Herrick? Was it at
Herrick? Alta Bates Hospital.
Wait, wow. My daughter was born there. Go ahead.
Yeah. And there was a lot of it when growing up in the 70s, there was a lot of focus in that Bay Area of human potential and personal growth. So a lot of my stuff is on that kind of personal growth stuff. That's why I think I can relate to what Oprah does, or Deepak Chopra, or Wayne Dyer, those folks. So a lot of my music is more personal growth and possibility and overcoming obstacles and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think I haven't written a protest song. I've written, I was just looking at my list of songs here. I've got one called "We're Not That Different." It's just a simple rock and roll song. No matter where you're from, we're not that different, really. Yeah. One of my latest album that I released this year is called what is it? All of Us. It's about celebrating all of us.
That's right.
I think the social protest and that music, and also personal growth and looking within, is both important at the same time.
That's right.
Because if I know there are people out there that don't have their house together, really, don't have their shit cleaned up yet, and they're trying to do stuff. And I think it's important to do both at the same time. Work on yourself and make a statement for social change and growth and evolution.
It's like they say, be the change that you want to see in the world, isn't it? And then you can lead a positive example for others to follow as well.
Yeah, that tends to be more my personal approach to all of this. And it's all valid, different approaches like this. But that just happens to be mine, I think, given my upbringing in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Just a tip, like if you come up with the theme, the chorus, the hook, if you come up with that first, it's easier to do the verses, because your verse is the opinion of the chorus, right?
Yes.
I always come up with a song. Usually, a song title comes to me first.
That's great.
And then it's just, and then I sit down at the piano and go, okay, where's this going here? But it's usually the song title or theme that gets me going first.
Enne, how about you? How do you come up with your song titles?
It changes all the time for me because I'm inspired by different things.
Yeah.
And because I play so many different instruments and do different things, like sometimes I'll start a song in Logic rather than picking up the guitar and writing it and then go to record it. Sometimes I'll start there.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just a feeling, man. Like if I'm feeling, if there's something that's pressing upon my spirit and I'm like, right, I need to write a song about this because it's getting on my nerves. And so then usually the song will come, it will flow quite naturally. And then I will pick out of what I've written. I'll be like, that's the title of the song. Or it's usually there's a topic that I'm feeling about, and then I'll pick a word or pick a phrase from the song, and that'll be the title of it. Or I'll know exactly what it is that's bothering me, and I'll make that the title of the song, and then I'll make that song.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're I Can't Write Another Love Song it's a classic for me.
I don't know why I can't write a love song. Yeah.
That's good. I like it.
I remember that. See, the first time I saw you was playing with an ukulele. And I'm like, look at this sister. I'm way over in London. And this sister's playing a Hawaiian instrument and singing with it. How cool is that? That's music for global change there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't play guitar. It had too many strings. I didn't understand it.
It's quite complicated, and so I started to learn it a couple of years ago.
I love the four strings myself.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, but I have since upgraded to 2 more strings.
Oh wow!
I have since upgraded, but I started off on the ukulele. I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't like carrying heavy things.
Right.
So I didn't have much to set up. I could just rock up and play and then leave and do my thing. And it enabled me to get about. It enabled me to write very simple songs, but then have a hardcore message on the top. And you can't be sad with the ukulele. So even though I'm hitting you with some hard, though I'm hitting some hard truths, some truths that some people might not want to face, I'm doing it with a smile and a 4-string instrument. Change your ways, with a happy song. Yeah.
I plan to retire on Maui. I lived
I'll see you there.
I lived there.
Come visit.
I lived there for 10 years, and it was the best 10 years of my life. You know, everything is chill, right? I'm from the Bay Area, and I had hustle and bustle going, doing gigs and all stuff like that. And then 6 months out of the year, I go to Hawaii, and you have to shut all the way down, right? And sometimes it would take me like 2 or 3 days because I'm still thinking about the hustle and bustle back home that I just came from. But yet I'm sitting there right in front of the ocean, right? It took me about 3 days to calm all the way down. I go, oh, that's why I'm here, right? Right? And it's so chill, and the people are they're so beautiful over there, man. Like, you know, it was a trip to me because back home, you know, when you go into the toll booth and all that, yeah, give me the money. Yeah, right. They don't say nothing. Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, give me the money. They don't care about none of that. But everybody speaks to each other in Hawaii, right? And I love that.
That's one place I've always wanted to go, and hopefully I'll get to go there one day.
Well, so kiss your family because you might not come back. I had a friend of mine from Brooklyn, New York, who came out. And she was doing the kind of cruise line boats, and they went all the way over there. And the next thing you know, she called her family and said, "I ain't coming back. You can keep all my clothes." You keep the car, everything. And she didn't go back for 25 years, right?
Didn't she? Fair play to her. I mean, it's a beautiful place, isn't it? Like you say.
No, when you get to that. So I asked this old lady one time, she's like probably 80. And I go, man, I come here every year, you know, and why are people so nice? She says, Skyler, we live on an island.
Yes.
If they steal your car, they're going to find it.
Yes. There's also that island community spirit as well, where they all look out for each other, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
we need more of that spirit in the world as a whole, don't we?
Well, it's 160,000 people on the island, right? And I would say 80% of the funds that come in is from tourists to the country.
Yes, I can imagine that.
So it was a trip because I talk to my family there all the time, right? And when COVID kicked in, so when you get out of the airport, there's nothing, just a sea of car, rent a car places, a sea of them, right? And he said, Skyler, them cars wasn't moving. It scared the hell out of us, right?
Oh, bless him.
You know, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm talking about on the island, right?
Yes.
So if 80% of their money comes from tourists.
And I can imagine they lost a lot of money during the pandemic and lockdown because obviously no one was allowed to fly, were they? Unless it was for work purposes.
No.
So they must have really struggled and suffered.
Scott, have you been over to Maui?
Yeah, last time we were there a couple of years ago, we were in Maui, and we also go to Oahu.
Yeah,
definitely are a happy place. It's a
happy place, man.
Fortunately, I had relatives that moved there in 1958 before it became a state,
right?
And worked at the university there, and so and my sister married a guy from Hawaii, so we got to go visit sometimes. But it's a beautiful, the aloha spirit is definitely a real thing.
Yes, I mean, you know, pineapples and mangoes and fish.
It's just the whole gentle vibe.
Man.
If you ever listen to Jack Johnson, you wonder why he's so low key and mellow. Right. It's because he grew up in Hawaii. So
you know, it's a trip. Willie Nelson has a restaurant in Paia.
Yeah. In Paia, we were there in Paia last time. Yeah,
but I was there sitting at the next table with him and John Denver was having a meal, and 2 weeks.
That was a long time ago.
That's when I lived there. That's when I lived there.
Okay. Yeah.
But John Denver, man, that was 2 weeks later. He died in that plane crash, right?
Yeah.
But for me to be sitting there with these legends like that in Hawaii of all places, right? But you know what? There's so much amazing music on that island as well, and a lot of the Hawaiian songs are about social consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so we got to celebrate every place that's doing this and encourage more and inspire young people to get involved in this genre and movement of music for global change, so we can teach them how to write songs that heal, educate, and solve problems.
What you're saying there, Skyler, last year during lockdown, a friend of mine who teaches piano, C-sharp music, just a quick plug there, Claire Parsons, amazing piano teacher. She invited me to do a course with her students that learn piano, to do an online course for songwriting. And the way that I decided to start off this course, this workshop, was to get them to just write lyrics for themselves. So I gave them the basics about phrasing and stuff like that. But I said, I'm not going to do anything to teach you what to write. I want to see what you're going to come up with. Do you know what? Children naturally write socially conscious music.
Wow.
You know that?
Yes.
I'm telling you, the songs I got out of these kids was about their feelings, about what was going on, about saying about what was happening, and how their viewpoint on it. And all of them wrote a song. It wasn't all fuddy-duddy music. The lyrics that they wrote, so children naturally would gravitate towards type of songs that will feed their spirit.
That's right. Happiness. So,
yeah, they naturally, it's not just happiness, what's real. It's like they want what's authentic. They want to be able to, music is there and it serves a purpose in society. It helps to express in ways. Artists have to live on that edge of existence where they express what cannot be expressed within society. We are like, I was talking recently with my friends about the watchmen, right? And watchmen have to stand and look out to see any danger that could be coming in. They have to look, and they see where the people aren't preparing either for what's coming. So they have to go and give word and prepare people, and also be brave enough to not be fearful when they see the danger coming or where they see what's happening, to be able to stand there and say, right, this is what we need to do because we can see this, right? So we're watching over and watching out for, looking out for, right? So as musicians who will give that cry, that song out to society, okay, we have to be prepared to stand there and experience these emotions, experience these things. And, you know, because this can crush it. When you look out into the world, we're living in a fallen creation, and you can see that there is things that are naturally going to make you depressed, naturally going to be heavy on your spirit, naturally vex your spirit. There are injustices that are taking place that is naturally going to vex your spirit. So that when you actually speak about it, it lifts off. It's like, everyone can see this. Everyone knows this is okay. The way I feel is normal. The way I feel that I couldn't put into words or expression has now been expressed. This is the purpose of the arts and how it serves a community in such a way. Right. And so the children naturally, they all wrote something that was socially conscious, that was what was in their awareness, what they were going through. So when a musician does that on a bigger scale and they're using that platform, hey, they shouldn't be afraid to come out and start writing these songs like this, because the children want it. The children want it. And they shouldn't be worried about their careers, I mean, there's obvious hatred that could be spouted, and that needs to be stopped, you know, in music, the hatred and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm talking about, because there's obvious wrongdoing in that sense. I'm talking about where people are trying to silence other authentic groups and authentic voices to favor another agenda. So whether it's over-sexualizing the music industry, or whether it's like all about money and material things, that's not feeding the spirit. And the children aren't even interested in that. They're not talking about that. So I find that the children are writing this type of stuff if you give them the opportunity to do so. So maybe getting into schools is a good idea. And
absolutely, that's my plan, is to go. I want to go and speak to a couple of colleges or high schools, right, and put them all in the room together, right, and teach them about the benefits of social conscious lyrics, right, and why we need more of it, right, and to change the attitude, because right now all we hearing is bad news. But what if we went out there and just made the good news go viral?
Yes. Through lyrical content as well, Sky, like you say, it's like the freedom writers, but through, you know, social conscious music, lyrical content, isn't it?
Well, I watched it happen, like I said, to a friend of mine who was for years, Hewlett Packard. He was the international marketer for Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard invented the computer. So he has 60 employees under him, right? and he knew how to manipulate things to get them to the. You say, listen, if you're not at the top when they search your name, and you're not at the top of Google, you can forget it after that. They might have all these numbers down here. They never get to them because they find everything they want right here, right?
They do, yes.
And you say, so you got to raise your name to the top.
It's very rare they go for the pages on Google, but there is ways to get your name to the top on Google anyway, isn't there?
Yeah, but what I want to do is make this show go viral because of the quality of people that we invite on our show. I love this show because we get to invite people that's behind the scenes that's actually making things happen.
Yes. Well, we are going viral, aren't we, through social media and through YouTube? And I think obviously once we do like the, music festivals, that's really going to expand our audience. And also we've had that wonderful opportunity, haven't we, Skyler, a couple of days ago? That's going to accelerate everything. We're inviting in a social conscious magazine monthly, all about music for global change. And that opportunity's come in, isn't it, Skyler? Yes,
and I want Scott to go back and get his concept of the positive music. Because, when I heard the name, I said, okay, yeah, I can hang out with these people. Yes. and then when I went there, I saw all these people's names and, you can contact them and, whatever. Nobody's done that.
No.
In this field. And that's what I'm saying about the collaboration now. We can write just like this.
But I think the world's ready as well, Skyler. Sorry to interrupt. I think the world's ready now, even more so for social conscious music, where people are waking up consciously because the world has changed into 5D reality. It's just humanity now need to ascend that 5D reality consciousness. So that's where the social conscious music is really important now, I think, for the new world that we're entering into.
The festivals would do it, though.
Yes, they will.
And I love it that that Brother Scott over there is connected with different countries because
I certainly invite, if you're thinking of a date or something for some festivals, to have it on World Singing Day. It's the third Saturday in October every year. So
but that's raining over here, see.
Not necessarily. So it might be shining.
There all the time.
Sunshine.
Might be lucky.
We can ask the angels for a nice sunny day, Skyler.
Yeah, Scott, I was living up in Scotland, so it's like freezing, right?
Right.
And then I said, okay, well, I'm moving to England, so it's going to be a little warmer. So as soon as I got here, I asked this guy in the hood, in the forest, he goes, I said, man, so what's the weather like over here? He goes, well, it's either raining or it's getting ready to rain.
Yeah. Well, we did have a nice summer this year, didn't we?
We did, yeah, we have.
We did have some really nice hot weather, didn't we, Skyler? But we did. We got rain here today, actually. Funny enough, it's pouring it down, and we can hear it in the studio on the actual glass, can't we?
Yeah, we can hear
we do get a lot of rain, I must admit, don't we?
But for Scott and I, even October back home is hot.
Oh,
if you remember, Scott, right? It gets hot.
It's really nice. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty pleasant all year round in the Bay Area, but yeah, it can get warm and
And that's something else. But you know what I mean? Well, I want to jump back to this subject on both of you guys of how any ideas that you have that we can connect all of this together so we can grow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, do you have, people that have a good name out there, like a Michael Franti, to get him on board? I know you've met him before, right?
Oh, a couple of times, and I've sent him my stuff, and he's like, "Okay, all right." But then, right.
But people like that are doing this kind of music that could help move it forward.
Well, I think, come to think of it, all those venues that he's playing at, whoever promoted those shows, they get it. Mm-hmm. They get this kind of music, right?
Right.
If they're hiring him and he puts bands on, there's an audience for it already.
Mm-hmm.
We got to tap into that audience and find who's ever putting on those concerts in this genre right here.
Yeah.
And worldwide.
Yeah, what I've learned with the Positive Music Association and this whole positive music genre is you have to be careful not to be didactic and preachy and stuff. There's a balance between entertainment and getting a message out without hitting people over the head too. So I think great art is both educational and transformational and entertaining.
We have a policy.
You have a policy, good.
We have a policy, you know, it heals, it educates, and it solves problems. So all the protest music, that's not helping things change. You're only talking about what's happening right now, right? That's not helping. Where are we going from here? How do we get out of this crab bucket together?
What's the solution? Focusing on the solution, you know, not burying your head in the sand and going, it's not happening or whatever, but just going, okay, pivot from, that's a big issue there. That's a problem. What's the solution? And let's focus on the solution as much as we can.
I had a radio show for 3 years with my colleague, Denise Newton, and it was called Solutions Now Radio. So if you called and you start talking about a problem, I hang up.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody.
There's that great quote from Buckminster Fuller about that problems can't be solved on the level that they were created. You have to create it from another level so the old problem becomes obsolete.
How about that?
You can raise it from coming from a higher consciousness or a higher insightfulness or something. That's where you transform the problems and get to new solutions. Yeah,
and we get to use music to do that.
And there's nothing better than music to get a message off.
That's right. Enne, now, Sister Enne over here. Now, I've done some duets with this sister, and she is just like so magical because of her spirit, right? And we go in the studio, and it just happens like that, right?
Yeah.
I love that because I'm from another country, and I come over here, and we have the same spirit. And you know what I mean? I'm going to do everything I can to promote the people that I love. And you're such an artist to me. Anytime you can write, create, perform, produce, record your own music, you are an artist. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then you put the cherry on the top. You can what a performance thing, right?
Yeah.
and you know, we Enne and I are singing on a theme song for a new film coming out called Taxify, and it's about GMOs and 5G. Okay, it's not gonna be a lot. We're not gonna have all audience. Some of the people gonna be pissed off at us, but
at least you're getting your point of view across as well.
That's exactly right,
and that's what it's all about, isn't it? And music.
And my friend who's a doctor back home, she's trying to help people, and she's an amazing humanitarian. And I thought, she goes, Skyler, because I wrote a song in her last movie, but she goes, Skyler, I need another song, and boom, I write this one, and I say, Enne, you got to come do a duet with me on this song, right?
Yes.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
And then you guys know Jean Jacket Designs, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They made Enne and I jean jackets for the video.
That's right, they did.
We just kept getting blessed. And the cool thing about it is like, you know, we do these songs together, and I love it because when I came here, I said, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna meet some artists from over there and I'm gonna collaborate with them. That's music for global change, right?
It certainly is.
Now I go, okay, now I want to introduce them to my friends back home who they've never met, right?
Yes.
And now we have a platform for that to happen.
And it's wonderful bringing all of the people together, like you say, Skyler, because there's so many amazing humanitarians out there, and it's wonderful now giving them the platform to shine bright, which is what we do on this show anyway, don't we?
That's right. Pull the curtain.
Yes.
Pull the curtain back on these people, right? You know, there's amazing talent. I just want everybody to be heard, right?
Yes, and that's what we do.
it doesn't matter what genre you're in, but
No.
you know what I mean? But we got to go at quality, you know.
We certainly have, most definitely.
We I bring on people that have their own fan base, and I love that.
Which is
because
really exciting.
We grow it this way, you know.
We're so sorry that we've run out of time. But thank you so much
namaste.
For the show. Namaste. We're truly, truly blessed. Keep shining bright. You're doing amazing work. And we can't wait to collaborate, you know, with both of you, and also get involved in World Singing Day next year with Music for Global Change. Definitely. And also get you over to the music festival next year as well, Scott. We would love to get you over. Obviously, with Enne being in London, it's going to be in London, so it's not going to be far for you to travel in. But we just can't wait, can we, Scott? We're really excited. So thank you all so much.
I'm more excited than the Pointer Sisters.
Yes. Well, it's exciting. We just can't wait. So we worked really hard, haven't we?
You know how excited they were, right? But hey, I love you guys. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you all
so much. It was a pleasure.
So cool. Yeah. You got it.
You take care. Keep shining bright. God bless. Bye for now.
Much love.
Save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.